Business planning. This is one of my absolute favorite features in SuccessWare. It is part of the software that really helps you to grow and analyze your business. So what we're looking at here is our income and expense budget. This is where everything comes together from your planning to be able to help you to see the numbers in a very realistic way. And so what I'm going to do is show you what we have currently, and I'm going to show you how you actually build a plan, because it's one of the coolest things that you can do to take your business to that next level. It all has to be based on information. So it's not a pie in the sky, I'm going to reach out and grab this information from thin air. It's about what you've done in the past. So what we're looking at here is our business plan from our 2012 year. And what you do is you take this income and expense budget, and to develop a plan for the upcoming year, you have to compare it to what you actually did for that year. So what I've done is I've printed out a couple of reports that'll come in handy for this process. And those are from our tracking application within SuccessWare. So you'll notice that the goals from our business plan are going to actually appear right here in our report so that we can see them and compare them side by side. So in order to make tweaks in your business, you have to start from a place where you actually have been, and you can create a new plan based on that information. So if we look, the key thing in it is, right first off, is owner's compensation plus net profit. Here we wanted to project for $37,000, almost $38,000 net profit for this studio, and we were pretty close in what we actually did. So you want to actually look at your goals for your projections in sales, and then also your goals for your projections in expenses, and compare them to what you actually projected to see if they're on target. So what I'm looking at here is this particular business, their goals were $168,000, but they only brought in $152,000 in actual receipts. We take out their cost of sales. Now, based on their numbers, they projected to have a $44,000 number. They were at 38. They were at a 25% cost of sale. Their cost of sale average was about 26% based on that information. So they're pretty much on target for their cost of sales. Their projections, because they were under on their actuals, we want to look at where, and we want to focus in on that. So the first thing we're going to do is look at their receipts, their numbers of sessions. We want to see if they actually did what they had projected. Where were they under? Were they over in any areas, to see if we can make heads or tails out of what's going on in this business. So if we look, our location portraits, they were a little bit under. Our promotions, we actually had more sessions, and we're actually up a little bit in dollars. Seniors, we were down. We were down in numbers of sessions. So we look at that. We look at our sessions report to give our total sessions counts, and we're looking at seniors, studio portraits, each of the different areas. We also look at sales averages. So if we look at our sales averages and we see that our sales averages are where they need to be, or are they on target for where they need to be? Are they over or under? Did we do better in the sales room? Did we not do as well in the sales room? So we're going to look at the actual sessions that we did first, and then we'll tackle the expense side of this. So first thing is I'm going to look at the expenses. So in our budget, the first thing we're going to do to project for 2013 is take and make a copy of our plan from 2012. So we're going to go in and create a new plan. We're going to have a 2013 year plan. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to copy our previous plan, so we have a starting point. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and look at our sales projections. Our sales projections are going to show us each of the product lines, where we are, and then I can actually click the show categories so we can see actually all the categories within those different product lines. So if we wanted to take and tackle one in particular, now seniors, we were down, okay? So if I were to go in and look at our senior product line right here, I'm going to just double click on it. And we're going to look at our totals. Now, 79 seniors, we only did 66. And if we look at our seniors in our average sales in our sessions report, our sessions report is showing us that Academy High School, we did the most, but maybe we had limited marketing or limited representation in the other high schools. So how do we fix that? So maybe we need to infiltrate those different schools a little bit better. Now, sales averages, I want to look at seniors and see where our sales averages were. So overall, they were 521. Our best sales average is in South High School. So we only got 12 sessions. Maybe we can get some more in that area. The other schools were a little bit under, so they're pulling our sales averages down. So we may want to focus our efforts in a certain area. We may want to pick one or two. So maybe South and Smith High School may be where we want to develop additional marketing. We're doing okay in Academy. We may want to get some more business from them. However, right now we want to look at our other schools and see if we can get some more business and marketing efforts in those. Maybe we can do some free marketing. So that's where we're looking at first. The other is our average sale. We projected for a 550. Overall, we were only at 521. So in order to help our business, what can we do? Well, we're down sessions. If we increase that marketing, do we feel we can get those 80 sessions that we wanted? And we might say, yeah, that's really not a problem. We did limited marketing in those other schools, and there's no reason why we can't get about 2 or 3 more reps to be able to help out in that marketing. They did very well. We got more reps in Academy, but maybe we can get more reps for this particular these other high schools to help our business grow. The average sale, what if we changed what we were doing and we increased our average sale maybe by $25 to maybe offer some possibly some online albums or some things that we can do that are a low cost of sale, but we can include them in some product packaging with giveaways and maybe increase our product packaging. Maybe what we're offering, we can add some things to it. These are all questions that you have to ask yourself as you're doing this planning process. So if we go ahead, and I'm going to just go ahead and add another $25. So I'm going to make it $425. And you'll notice our average sale goes up to $575. So in this area, if I go to my income and expense budget, and I look at my bottom line, I increase by just doing those same number of sessions I projected for last year but didn't accomplish it. And we add another $25 onto the average sale, which is actually about $50 because of where you're currently at on your average sale overall. If we can get those things accomplished, we're going to increase our bottom line by about $3,000. Just by doing those small things to be able to help us. Now, the reps, are they going to cost us any more money? Probably not. We can include them in our marketing, but we don't have to pay them. We may give some product away or do their sessions for free, give them some incentive to get more seniors, maybe give away something. So again, those are things that you have to think about. We're going to look at some other areas, and as we keep going, it's small things make changes. So I'm going to go back to my modify sales projections, and I would go through each area. I would look at my different promotions. What did they do? How did they do? So if I looked at my bunny promotion here, and we did 39 sessions, we actually projected for 38, so we did one more than we thought. Our average sale here for our bunnies was $158. We had 165, so we were a little overstated on our averages, but can we maybe maintain this average by changing some product pricing? Again, these are questions. Do we have to lower it, or can we do some things in our product pricing to be able to maintain that? We would go down the list into each of those areas. I look at focus. Let's go to weddings real quickly to see where we were. We had a $3,000 average. The wedding average was about $3,300, so we were a little over on our average. Our projections were for 23, but we only did 18. Now, based on where you're at and when you're doing your planning, you have to look at how many weddings do you have on the books, and based on when you're planning, are you going to get that one session in January, two in February? Do you have them already on the books? When you're doing your business planning, we typically recommend planning around the end of the year, so the end of 2012 for 2013. So you have to kind of guess on what you're planning on getting in from those weddings and if you're going to be able to do those. We may want to say, you know what, we're going to take out 2 weddings in October and go down to 2. That brings us to 21. And in April, we don't have 4 on the books. We have 2 on the books. But in May, we do have our 4 on the books. So we're going to bring our wedding count down to 19. But now, do we feel we might be able to get a couple more in October? So maybe bring this one to 3. We might be able to do that. So again, you have to look at the tweaks and what you can do for your business. It's all about tweaking what you're already doing. And then if you want to add a new product line or a new promotion in, what do you need to do to bring that to the table? Now, one of the areas that we're going to look at is our studio portraits. And if we go into our portraits of children, let's look here because that's another area where we have 42 sessions. We actually did 35 at a $980 average, and our average here was only $700. So we were near $1,000 average, so we're doing something right in the sales room. So we're going to tweak this and change our sales average and bring it up to the 1,000. So if we change that, we need to add 300. So I'm going to bring it up right here to 500 to bring it to 1,000. And that's going to help our bottom line based on the other things that we're doing in this business. We've done 42 children's sessions in the studio. Are we doing any children or families away on location? So if we look at this, we've got 4 families on location. Let's look at our families under our location product line. We actually have some sessions budgeted. However, we don't have quite that many. We don't have the breakdown. So if we wanted to, we can do category projections and break them down like we've been doing in the past. Let's look. We actually have fall families that we're doing promotions for. We've got 10 sessions. Let's look at our promotions, our fall families. We actually did 14 at a $578 average. Well, we have a $625 average for our fall families, but we hopefully maybe could get that sales average based on what we're doing in the sales room for children. Maybe we can do the same thing for families and help that area and bolster that. Now, we only have 10 scheduled. Do you think we can get 5 more? We did 14. That would only be 1 more if we added 5 to this. So let's go ahead and go to 7, and let's do September 9. That's giving us 16, 2 more families than we had thought. If we can figure out a way to sell to these folks in the same manner that we're selling to our children in our studio, can we get their sales average up to the 1,000 or maybe a little bit over based on the presentation? Maybe these shouldn't be discounted sessions. It just should be that we're promoting fall families for the holidays. So if we increase this, let's just increase it by the 300. So we'll go to 500 here, to bring it to 925, near in line with what we were doing with our children, which it should certainly be. What does that do to our bottom line and our income and expense budget? Brings us to $48,000, and we were at 36. So these small tweaks can really help us to focus our business, and we're not making big changes. We're making small tweaks to each area of our business. Now, if you look at what we've done, we have to look at our pricing, and we would have to go into the pricing part of SuccessWare to actually evaluate what we're offering our clients and make sure that it's viable to see if we can do those things. Have we added any expenses on? Well, we haven't added any extra marketing, and we're doing some free marketing. So we don't have to increase our budget for marketing. So our expenses, we want to look at each of the expense areas to see where we're at and if we're in line, and make, again, the changes according. So if I go into my expense budget, I'm going to, again, look at each area of our business. These are the goals from 2012. These are what we actually did. And we were pretty close, obviously, on all of our expenses. Our employee expenses, owner's health was a little under. Our rent is dead on what we thought it was. Our utilities are slightly under. Advertising costs were a little bit under, and we're okay with that. It's only 4% of our business, but we're doing a lot of social media and social marketing that aren't costing a lot of money, but they are costing some time. Um, we look at other areas, we're a little over on what we spent on our accounting. And we're going to go through each area. We're down in education expense. Everything we budgeted for, we're pretty close. We're actually down by about $8,000-ish, $9,000 from where we were projecting. So could we tweak this? Probably. We don't have to, but if you wanted to go in and say our accounting legal, we know we needed to spend a little bit more on the accountant, the accounting fees, or we're $750. We had estimated $575. So we're going to go ahead and change it. It's, let's see, $750. So another, $150. So we'll do $275 here, and we'll do $150 here. That puts us at $750. So that's the only major change we need to make. You might want to look at your education expense, and if you are going anywhere, your fees for costs, dues, memberships, travel costs. You might be going somewhere on a trip. You may need to change that or tweak that, or if you're going to a workshop, you might need to add that in. So again, you want to go through each of those expenses so you can tweak them. And you're always focusing on where your business is financially so you can see where your business is taking in, but your owner's compensation and net profit, where that actually is hitting, and if it's comfortable. You're not going and blowing yourself out of line where it's so unobtainable that you can't reach it. You want to be able to see the information clearly. And that's one of the things that SuccessWare is so good at, because you're doing all of the hard stuff by keeping track of your clients and marketing to them and taking their money and paying your bills. All of those things you have to do on a regular basis. If you then take that information and make use of it, it is going to help you to focus your business efforts. And we didn't make any major changes. We made small changes, small impactful changes on this business to be able to help it to grow. And that's what SuccessWare and the planning portion of this product is all about. It's about helping you to see clearly through the muck and the mire of the day-to-day activity and see focus, so that all of this information is going to kick you every time you run a report to see if you're on track. And if you monitor that, you then can see if you're hitting your goals, if you're hitting your numbers. Are your sessions on target? Is it hard? Not as hard as you think, because you're doing all the hard stuff running your business. This is the thing that's going to give you backbone and focus in your business to help you to make those hard decisions easier.